It was a renowned American author, John Maxwell, who famously stated that a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. This time, tested maxim about leadership succinctly captures the success story of Olabisi Onabanjo University at Ganiyu under the leadership of Professor Ganiyu Olatunji Olatunde. A distinguished entomologist and seasoned administrator, Professor Olatunde initially assumed duties to the university in May 2017 upon his appointment as the acting vice-chancellor by the then visitor to OOU and governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun. By October 2017, the governing council of the university approved his appointment as the 8th substantive vice-chancellor for a period of 5 years. By all standards, the 5-year tenure of Professor Olatunde proved to be eventful as it witnessed various activities and interventions that resulted in substantial growth and academic development of OOU.
Yeah, you see, if you look at the VC, Professor Olatunde, especially with respect to funding the activities of the university, you will see that he has been very prudent. And in addition to that, he has been looking for ways to up the income, that is the IGR of the university. And that has made him to, one, unbundle the ventures. You know, in the venture, we now have the bakery, we have the automated water system, unlike what we had in Ijebu. And of course, he has also worked hard to actualize the Institute of Governance donated by the Aujale. And of course, again, we are almost through with the establishment of the business school. If and when all of these are working well with good management, you will find that the university, just like he said, will be able to at least minimally fund its activities and with little or no stress.
In line with the university's mission to provide the best educational experience for students, the management under the leadership of Professor Olatunde restructured and reorganized the institution into a true and working citadel of learning. As a result, the university experienced sustained and unprecedented development during its 5-year tenure. To ensure that OOU becomes globally relevant and competitive, the Vice-Chancellor adopted the policy of driving the university electronically from the onset.
I want the university to be technologically driven, that all operations of the university, especially for non-teaching, becomes automated. Fortunately for me, Professor G. Olatunde also has the same vision that I have for the university. So our vision matched seamlessly, and he gave all the encouragement that I needed and all the support that we needed for the non-teaching aspects of the university to be automated. We started immediately with the e-transcripts. You know, either to students have to come to the university to apply for transcript, to pay manually, to do everything manually. But when we came in, we introduced the e-transcript system, whereby students all over the world can apply for transcript, they can pay for transcripts, and then get their transcripts, even get an e-copy of those transcripts without having to take the rigors of coming down to Agowe to do that.
The novel achievements in this area led to significant reforms in the issuance of transcripts and certificates. Specifically, the transcript office of the university was revamped through the setting up of the e-transcript request system. This enabled the graduates of the university to apply for and process their transcript from anywhere in the world without having to pass through agents or physically coming down to the university. Similarly, the certificate issuance and tracking system was placed online to ensure that certificates issued by the university can be easily tracked and authenticated seamlessly within the shortest period of time. Also, the hitherto challenges that students encountered during registration exercises and the problems of processing results after examination are now things of the past. This is as a result of the introduction of integration of result processing and management system into all the various programs of the university. This new system has made registration most efficient and the process of examination results competition seamless and transparent to both lecturers and students.
We started having artificial intelligence attached to what we are doing. Although at the initial stage, it was not being put into place fully, but we still use it to monitor what is going on in the hall. But during the pandemic of 2020, we deployed artificial intelligence fully, which enabled us to have the post-UTME where more than 30,000 students actually participated in that examination without coming down to the school. It was the first time in the history of the Nigerian University where you have artificial intelligence deployed to do the exam, and it was perfectly done.
In effect, this shortened the turnaround time for the generation of examination results. Another gain of the automation was the ability of the students to track their academic progress from their respective portals without having to see any lecturer. In like manner, parents are equally happy to monitor their awards results from their homes. The deployment of ICT by the Professor Olatunde's administration also dovetailed into automation of the undergraduate and postgraduate admission processes through online screening of O-level results and verification of certificates.
Since this Vice Chancellor got here, we've actually shifted from a manual way of doing things into the electronic way of registration. For the exams and records, our students and our graduates, now they don't have to come over here to pay or register for transcripts. Such activities are actually done online. And you can actually ask questions concerning your transcripts or whatever online. And we have designated officers that attend to their issues. Unlike before, they have to come over and pay here. And now, almost every activities of these units are actually done electronically. Registration of students. So, introduction of the CAP, Central Admission Processing System by JAM, actually makes it compulsory for institutions to do almost everything about admissions, registration of students online. So they don't have to come over to line up and register. They just need to scan all their papers online, and the officers in charge will actually work, and if there's any question, get back to the students, send emails, send messages on their portal, and they respond.
Also on record is that OOU became the first state-owned university to give online lectures. These gained prominence during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Vice Chancellor created ICT units in all campuses of the university and directed that all students and staff should be given open access to the internet to enhance teaching and learning. In addition to these, Microsoft Teams was deployed to power teaching and learning for students remotely, thereby reducing the risk of students and lecturers being exposed to coronavirus. Most importantly, for the first time in the history of the university, the 2020 post-UTME was conducted online. This gave access to many candidates to participate in the examinations, especially those that were outside the country. In line with its policy of driving the university electronically, the administration of Professor Olatunde made it mandatory that all the statutory meetings of the university are conducted online. The registry now makes use of less papers while conducting its activities. Thus, we almost run the entire activities of the university virtually and paperless. Aside quickening decision-making process, the resort to virtual and paperless meetings saves funds for the university and time of personnel. The adoption of technological self-sufficiency by the administration of Professor Olatunde has improved the webometric ratings and accreditation status of the university. Upon its assumption of office, the university accreditation status stood at 76%. However, through purposeful leadership and great commitment to proper consolidation, more programs were accredited for OOU by the National Universities Commission (NUC), thereby bringing the institution's accreditation status to an impressive 97.2%.
We ensure that we meet the demands of the 21st century higher education that can put our students in a better advantage relative to other students in other universities. We've done well, the staff commitment is there, the increase in facilities and equipment, the construction of new buildings. These are things that we did to ensure, of course, the staff morale, because we were able to also ensure that they are happy in terms of providing them the facilities to teach. And a number of things, we upgraded our ICT facilities. So we are up there because we worked hard for it, and we ensured that what will be needed for us to have full accreditation status in the university is provided. And that basically made us to move from that percentage that is low to the current percentage, which means in effect that we are one of the best universities in this country.
And when the AUC team came and they found out that we have a lot of databases, Taylor and Francis, Elsevier, they marveled because these are high-cost databases. Most of the time, universities cannot afford them. But I want to thank the outgoing Vice Chancellor for providing the money to acquire these databases. It's not just for accreditation. These are databases that we've been using for the past 5 years. Consistently, we've been subscribing, and students, especially postgraduate students as well as final year students, have been able to make use of all these databases.
Another interesting leadership quality of the Vice Chancellor is his immense capacity for sticking to rules and regulations when decisions are being taken during statutory meetings. To put it simply, Professor Olatunde is a stickler to the university's Blue Book, which contains edicts, rules, and regulations governing the operational activities of the university.
And I can tell you for free that the Vice Chancellor, Professor G. Olatunde, is a stickler to the rules. He sticks strictly to the rules. And I can give you examples. During the COVID-19 pandemic, he ensured that we followed the NCDC rules and protocols strictly. And even when the hostel owners were trying to beg us to shift grants a little so that for profit's sake, the Vice Chancellor said no, that if we comply with rules and anything happens, yes, we can defend it, but if we shift a little and then anything happens, nobody will listen to us, the reasons for shifting it. And then I can also tell you that when you look at other areas, is it admission, is it promotion, is it conversion? Professor Olatunde will subject everybody to the same rule. And he will not say because you are close to him and they will give you preference. No. There are some personal examples that I'm aware of that I just want to keep to myself. But you see, and that is the hallmark of a great leader. And whether you like it or not, this is what endears Professor Olatunde to so many people. Because he will not take religion or tribe into consideration. It will be fair to all.
Also, the Vice Chancellor believes in consulting widely with his management staff on issues that appears intractable. Hardly has he ever forced his opinion on members during management or Senate meetings. He believes in accepting superior arguments during meetings. Equity and fairness are his mantra for the decision-making process. Above all, Professor Olatunde's administration gave priority to welfare of staff and students of this university. Since assumption of office, the Vice Chancellor has ensured prompt and regular payments of salaries to boost staff morale and improve their welfare. Promotion of staff were also undertaken as and when due.
On records, we are the only university or higher institution that were able to pay staff salary fully. And another thing that actually helped is that we are very conservative in terms of spending in this university. We don't just spend. We spend on items that are very, very necessary and critical in the running of this university. We are very, very prudent. We are very, very prudent.
As regards, staff welfare, he actually came in a point in time when there was need to boost staff morale in this university based on the number of issues of promotion and promotion criteria of our members. And there were a lot of complaints, contentious issues. And with the application of his master stroke as an administrator, he was able to, address all such issues, very amicably and to the satisfaction of all members. And thereafter, all members who have were promoted, as at when due. So that was it. That was very, very key as at the point he came in.
When it comes to welfare of my members, we were given the opportunity to go on training. We have international training and we have local trainings. In the issue of promotion, we got it as at when due. The issue of welfare in other aspects, personal relationship, staff to organ relationship, we have it very, very cordial. So when we talk of Professor Ganiyu Olatunde to us in Sana, we consider him to be God chosen to us.
And when we now come back to the welfareism of staff, we talk about the salary. I can talk categorically, confidentially, that the salary of the staffs are going on as at when due. Even during coronavirus, when we were not working, we were being paid. And when you talk about the salary, where it was during his administration that the salary were harmonized. Before, some of our technologies are being shortchanged, the salary they are being paid are not the right salary. But during his tenure, the salary has been harmonized and people are now smiling with the right salary that they're supposed to be given.
Moreover, staff training and retraining were undertaken as part of efforts to improve the administrative skills of staff and maximize their productivity. During Professor Olatunde's tenure as the Vice Chancellor, over 260 staffs were sponsored to various workshops and conferences in Nigeria and overseas, mainly with funds from internally generated revenue of the university.
Well, 5 years ago, our salary had been regular. At least on the 25th of every month, the salary is being paid. The staff training, staff development, both in Nigerian and even outside Nigeria. Our staff have attended a workshop, staff training, which we have never experienced it before it comes. Staff promotion, staff upgrading, conversion, and all other aspects really touch our lives.
On students' welfare, huge sums was expended by the Professor Olatunde-led administration on scholarship. In the last session, over 20 million naira was spent on scholarship for 446 indigent students.
Well, to start with, it's not 20 million, it's over 20 million. It's over 20 million. And these are, as Riley said, is meant for indigent students. And those indigent students, we can call them the less privileged students. And it is categorized into four. The four set of people that benefit from this are the handicapped set of people. And they were given 70% off their school fees. Meaning that if they are to pay 100,000 and they are physically challenged students, they are to pay 30,000, and the school management will pay the whole of 70,000 on their behalf. As far as the impact is concerned, don't let me deceive the entire world. It are giving a positive impact to students. In the sense that some students believe that they are not going to write exam, or they are going to skip, or they want to skip a particular session. But due to this, the assistance from the school management, it has actually assisted the students in making sure that there's no delay or there's no interruptions on their academic careers.
Our Student Welfare and Hostel Management Committee was constituted to interface with hostel providers and ensure that students have value for their money. There are no fewer than 3,000 students now residing in the university hostels, from the moderate figure of 150 that Professor Olatunde met at the inception of his administration.
When Professor Gio Olatunde came, really the numbers has now increased from over 300 now to over 3,000. And I must also confess that not even the main campus alone. We have hostels in the mini campus as well that take care of the CSL students and the likes. So that one take about 510. We have in a Kenya as well, which has about 182. We also have another one in Ibogun. That's a College of Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, which actually has over 100 students. And it has really helped a lot, because before now, the students normally complain that they are coming from outside and they want a place within. But since the place is here now, then they have the access to the classroom. And not that alone. Currently, all the best spaces are being filled up. That's over 3,000. And the many new hostels, they are upcoming. At that end, we have seen some investors that have approached the management. And because of the management of led by Professor Olatunde, give the room for development, for compatibility, and the likes.
Perhaps most of these achievements might not have been made possible if the security situation on campus is suspect.
Truly, before the Vice Chancellor came in 2017, we've been having a lot of problems in terms of security of the university, particularly in the area of courtesim, in the area of harassment of staff, harassment of co-students by students, the sorriness, even at the motor park here too, the mode of dressing of our students, mode of dress of our students, the way they dress to school, a lot of things. But immediately came, I knew that it was one of his targets to ensure that the security of lives of person on this campus. Because I knew that he told me once that throughout his stay on the university, he does not want to hear any state of student harassing any staff or a lecturer, or student harassing any students, or any issue of courtesim. Because the first week he came, was welcomed by courtiers on this campus, and he took it upon himself to ensure that such a thing stopped. In fact, when he behaved, when physically talked to us at times, we used to think that he was once a military or police officer, because he knew what to do and how to do it. Well, to carry it all again, he also employed special marshal for us, all the campuses, in short. Then with working tools, which I will not mention the type of tools that you see with them, because this cutting we are talking about, what they are holding is less than what we are holding. You know, that one makes them to be afraid of us. Our own can, maybe I can say our bangers can fire like 8 to 10 rounds at a time. Where their own cannot fire more than once, we have assessed them. And we also undergo various trainings. We have we undergo training under fire service. We also undergo training through the military anti-bomb training, the police, and with civil defense too. All those ones give us confidence that we can pursue any suspect. Then another thing that will add kudos to that is the establishment of strong student security committee.
To further enhance the security architecture on the campus, a closed-circuit electronic monitoring system was installed. With the numerous cameras placed at strategic places, the entire university campus could be remotely monitored on screens. The peace and serenity enjoyed on campus are attributed to the proactive and robust security arrangements and collaborations with relevant security agencies and stakeholders by the university management. Among other significant initiatives of the Vice Chancellor are the landscaping and beautification of the campuses. These accounted for the pedestrian walkways and footbridge, as well as lawn beautification projects in the varsity. Traversing the campus, several modest walkways constructed on the line to satisfy pedestrian movement are visible all over. Apart from beautifying the university environment, these well-paved walkways help staff and students to seamlessly navigate the landscape without trampling upon the lawns. Invariably, many buildings are now easily accessible through well-defined entry and exit routes. Several enthusiasts have also applauded the walkway patterns, which is characteristically safe to tread in all weather conditions and broad enough to accommodate occasional surges of high volume of foot traffic. Without mincing words, the emergence of Professor Olatunde accelerated the pace of development in the university in all ramifications. G.O., as he is fondly called by his admirers, is a rare welfarist, seasoned administrator, and a distinguished academic whose tenure as the Vice-Chancellor of this great university will come to resonate in the minds of all stakeholders. The visitor to the university and incumbent governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun MFR, recently praised the Vice-Chancellor for maintaining a stable academic calendar in Olabisi Onabanjo University. Governor Abiodun, who extolled the leadership qualities of Professor Olatunde, noted that he will always be remembered for his meritorious service and contribution to the development of the university as well as education sector of Ogun State.
This early tradition has continued to flourish under the able leadership of the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ganiyu Olatunji, who has maintained a stable academic calendar. Thank you for all the laudable initiatives that you shared with us in your address.
As he wraps up his tenure as the Vice-Chancellor,
I think first we pray that God will give us somebody who will perform far better than I did. That's one. Secondly, for the incoming Vice-Chancellor, I would advise that he keeps up the pace. Hard work is the key to success. Please work hard, ensure that you carry your principal officers along in all what you are doing, win their trust, win their confidence, treat them well, and then you will have a team that you can together move this university to greater heights. Again, you must ensure that you don't drop the ball in terms of the welfare of staff, in terms of discipline, and in terms of provision of an enviable environment that will enhance teaching, research, and community service. Once those ones are done, finance is a problem, but with very good financial discipline, blocking leakages and enhancing your revenue generation units, it's likely that you remain afloat and then be able to achieve set goals and objectives. So basically, I will pray that the next Vice Chancellor we're going to have will achieve more than I did, and then but should also be ready to work hard to ensure that the glory of the university is in no way affected.
The classical Latin phrase of Roman statesman Julius Caesar, Vendi Vidi Vici, readily comes to mind. With unprecedented achievements and successful time in the saddle, one can safely conclude that G.O. came, he saw, and he conquered.
Ọ̀pọ̀ ènìyàn ló ń bẹ láyé.